makes the browser parse it.
Also, if you're in double quotes, I think you can put the ASCII representation with the escape character. You can print the special characters in double quotes.
Yeah, that's right.
In single quote, it just displays the number, whatever you type in. So.
And also for channels, this kind they also have like special character. But you can only use double quote.
We'll talk about this a little bit later. I think we're a little bit off topic.
Yeah, because it's a special character I talked about in the last slide. But right now, you just want to know that for most of the cases, you want to use single quote. It's similar because you don't have to press shift and press the quote character button. Yeah, I think it's the only advantage to me. Anyway. And double quote single has a major difference. When it comes to the PHP, but I'll talk about it when we have next is going to be about CSS and JavaScript. Next workshop. So is everybody up to speed? Okay.
Next slide.
No, not yet. We only talk about meta, not script and style and link.
Okay.
Pay attention, Kyle. Pay attention. Good.
So basically, for script tag, it's used to specify a lot of the script it's going to use. Basically, if you have something like a client-side scripting language, you have those script ready and you want to use them, you need to use them within the script tag. You can either copy-paste your whole script code into the script tag, or you can just, for script, you also have an attribute called SRC, which is stands for source. And it's the source actually just point your HTML document to that file, and that file will be automatically imported into your HTML document and will use it whenever you want to call a function inside of the script. It's not, mostly it's used by JavaScript, but it's not linked to JavaScript. You can have ECM script, that's the only other script I remember, but you can use, mostly it's JavaScript. And that's come that I need to mention about another attribute for script tag. It's called like the type. That's where it specifies what kind of scripts inside it. And so it helps the browser to like evaluate, parse, and to render your script in the browser properly. For JavaScript, usually we use text/JavaScript. That's the thing you don't want to forget when you want to include a JavaScript file into HTML file.
So when do you use scripts? When do you use script?
Script is most of the script used within head tag, but it's not limited to head tag.
I mean, like, what would you use a script for?
Well, that's why we need to talk.
We can come back to that.
Yeah, because it's dynamic like web.
So essentially, you only really use scripts when you're doing something dynamic with your web page. So when you have to change stuff over time, you need to use a script to do that.
And also nowadays,
yeah,
like animation. For animation, it's also like it's called.
It's just dynamic, right? Because your page is changing.
Yeah. For dynamic, it has actually two meanings. One is the data is dynamic, the content is dynamic, and also the layout is dynamic.
Well, that's CSS too. You don't necessarily need.
Well, CSS doesn't really have a lot of animation.
It's sort of cheating for animations, but yeah, it's just there.
Does the scripts also have like functionality, like functions in JavaScript?
Sorry,
there is functions in JavaScript.
Like you can write functions in JavaScript and you can use them, but that just adds on to the fact that your web page is dynamic. Usually, what those functions do is they'll change some data, either on the website itself or on the back end.
Yeah, make an Ajax call. I'll talk about later.
You can do object-oriented web page if you want to. It's pointless, but why not?
You can actually use Ruby on Rails to do like object-oriented web page, like purely object. That's a really advanced stuff. So,
but just to clarify about the external side, is because sometimes you might have a script that is really long. You don't want to have all of that into one HTML file, especially because it makes it easier for someone to like copy that script, so they can just open it up and see it.
And also, sometimes you have like one class that's shared by that's used by a lot of HTML file, right? You don't want to manually copy word to each HTML file. You just need to specify the source, and you're done.
It's same thing as doing include and same thing as doing import.
Yeah, it's just like an import.
So when you create an HTML file, your code is published.
Yes. Yes, because what the browser does is it just opens that like a text file, but then it converts that text file to whatever the web page is. But you can, in any browser, you can just right click and do source, and you can see what the HTML is.
Yeah, that's why like a lot of open source project websites
Take exact code for that.
because it's really easy that you share source.
So
And
you
just
just
like
have to
really,
no matter what you want to do, right? So
yeah, and it's just that easy to build code on the website. Even though people have the manners to like stop you.
exceptions, there are some exceptions. So if you look at like the Google source code,
Yeah,
it's just a bunch of random like coded script.
And also, if you look at the jQuery library, you still like it looks like a random code.
Yeah.
Actually, the jQuery library consists of only one line. They don't have like line breaks. They don't have line breaks. Just
There's
one line.
also stuff you can use to like minimize your code so that like it's not really readable.
Yeah. So people become so lazy they just don't want to see code anymore. Come on, hackers are lazy, right? Right?
Well, yeah, it is a very dynamic
And also for style, style is where you want to put your CSS file anyway. And for CSS, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's called cascading style sheet. And as we talked about before, we know a lot of elements. Actually, most of the elements, most of the tags, I will start with the same tags. Most of the tags in HTML, they have this actually called style, which means that you can change the layout, change the size, and also change the appearance or even colors for the element. And it's really useful, right? Because you want to make a website look fancy, looks pretty, and you attract visitors, and you can come back again. And that's where, but back then, before CSS came out, people only use style, like style attribute. So if whenever they have a similar element that want to use the same attribute, right? They want to use the same style, they have to copy over style over to that tag, to that node, and to all know that they're going to use that same style. It's
So
going to be
for
tedious.
example, if you wanted to use Arial for all of your paragraphs, like an Arial font for all of your paragraphs, you'd have to manually copy that style to every single paragraph tag. So you can imagine if you have like a really, really long written website, maybe it's a encyclopedia or something, it's really, really tedious to have to copy that over to every single paragraph.
And don't you mention like line height, font size,
Right.
and margin.
So what you can do now is you can write these style sheets as
just
an external document or an inline external document.
Or which is style, or we can just include in the style tag.
Right. So then now you can have like special identifiers for each of your tags. So rather than having to copy the whole tag, you can just say paragraph ID or class equals encyclopedia. So it would take all of those styles. And
The style that's under belongs to are the children of the class. What's it called again?
Sorry.
The class. What's the class name? For example, there's a class like test. For example, if you make an element, make a tag and make it a class name called test, right? It's going to import all the test CSS style and also its parents style. Because sometimes you can make it like style class after class, below class, below class, below class. You can, and then the lowest class always override the previous class attribute. So if, for example, you have font size 16 on test, and they also have test1, which is you specify to be below the test. Oh, by the way, it's just, you can just imagine like HTML. It's similar to tree structure, but it's not really. But you can make an analogy as it's a tree structure.